I'm just amazed by how much that I'm reading just now about alternative energy, about investments in hydrogen, for example, and obviously been involved in the renewables business myself with Scottish Power Renewables. It, is just occurring to me that there's some real sectors that are kind of investment winners at the moment, and sectors that people might want to think about in terms of attracting investment and indeed investing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And certainly, renewables is becoming much more accessible and much more interesting to investors, which is great. So we've done a lot in this space, as you know, and it's great to see more investors interested in these new sectors. They're still risky, clearly, and there's still a lot to be proven, but there's definitely some interest being shown, which is super beneficial for the, the green economy, for what we're looking to do from a Scottish point of view. But in a kind of wider sector sense, sectors which were interesting before, so fintech, big data, things like that, are still, very interesting to investors now. But there's clearly been quite a positive push for a number of sectors, things like digital security and e-health and the like. And I guess any drug discovery company that's involved in anything to do with something that might lead to a vaccination has been quite a good place to be. But then also, any company that's supporting, I guess, our new way of working and living. So, for example, we invest in a company called Appointed, which does booking and scheduling software, and everybody wants that sort of thing just now. You need to book to go anywhere, as we all kind of know. But also, we're hearing and seeing a lot of really interesting businesses have pivoted or adapted their business model. So just again, the other day I was speaking to somebody around Six by Nico, a really interesting restaurant chain that's moved into home delivery, which is now an even bigger part of their market, and quite possibly where their future's going to be, because they didn't just sit back and say, the restaurants are closed, that's not good. What else can we do? How can we adapt? And there's definitely, I think, a stronger appetite, which we've seen for some time, for a number of years, appetite from consumers and investors for companies who have a strong environmental or social objective or output. And I've definitely seen and heard a lot, an escalation on that just over the last kind of 12 months. People are now kind of looking around and getting, concerned about things they weren't before, even things like food security and, how do we ensure, the things that we need to keep our economy kind of stable. So vertical farming is another one, one of the businesses that we're involved in. Integrated Growth Solutions is doing a lot in that space. And those sort of companies for the, the future are really going to have a great place, and investors are definitely looking to see, well, how is the economy going to change, and what new sectors, even some that maybe don't even exist just now, are we interested in, to make sure that we can feel much more comfortable about the stability of the economy going forward.
Yeah, I think that's so interesting, Kerry, that, we've always said that, you definitely need a great product. You need to identify a market. Investors invest in people, so you need a fantastic team. But I do see much more myself the impact of what's the point? What's the point of you? What's your purpose? What contribution are you making to the world? And you can see it from the large institutional investors, like the biggest in the world, BlackRock, who are absolutely putting ESG at the heart of everything. But I actually think at the smaller scale, that's really could that be a differentiator for companies? And relating that to your point about pivoting, I mean, what would your advice be to a company that's thinking, well, how do I make what I do, could be from a technology standpoint or whatever it is, actually more kind of interesting, more applicable? I mean, how would a company go about that kind of pivot?
So I think it's a really interesting point around the future direction of investors and what they're interested in. So the conversation that we have now compared to certainly 4 or 5 years ago are significantly different. I think it was always about the commerciality of the proposition. It was about the bottom line. It was about that future. But now that's part of it. Is the triple bottom line that they talk about. Making sure there's an impact is definitely an important part for the majority of investors. Not all of them, but like you say, the biggies are doing it, so the rest of them absolutely follow. So from a company's point of view, absolutely. What we do see though is companies sort of suggesting that that's part of what they do, because they think, well, no, they'll get interest from investors, but they won't like it if it's not genuine. It's important that the companies are absolutely focused on what they want to achieve for that company, and focus on the returns that they want to make. And clearly, from our point of view as an economic development agency, what a company can add to the economy at all different levels is something that gets our attention as well. And clearly there's a massive objective in Scotland around net zero, and we're looking for, most of the companies that we're working with to be making an impact on that, and certainly be thinking about how they can. And that's where our interest is growing as well, where we can see companies that tick lots of these boxes and are companies for the future and will support the future economy.
Yeah, and presumably COP26, I mean, is a huge driver for that in Glasgow. We had Lindsay McQuaid, Chief Executive Scottish Power Renewables, in our last talk, and trying to think about the business opportunities around that. I mean, our Scottish enterprise doing a big push around that, Kerry?
Yeah, no, we absolutely are. We're taking quite a strong role in that, and you're absolutely right that the opportunities round about it are going to be phenomenal for companies that are in that space and want to move into that space. The amount of people that are going to be round about it, and the amount of networking that can be achieved, the amount of connections, it's going to be a super thing for Scotland. And given how we're setting ourselves out for achieving that net zero, and for ensuring that we're ahead of the game when it comes to what we want to achieve for our economy, means that COP26 is going to be great for us on the map, great for the companies round about it, great for all of those that want to be part of what is, I guess, a revolution now as to how we want to change the world going forward. So it's a really important part of what Scottish Enterprise are focused on. We've got a number of colleagues spending a huge amount of their time, and it's less than 12 months away now. It's going to be here before we know it. So companies that are interested in getting involved should definitely be in touch.
Yeah, and so how would they do that?
So they can contact me directly, wouldn't be a problem at all. Martin Valenti is our key contact within Scottish Enterprise. He's leading on our climate change work. So if anybody knows Martin through LinkedIn or can get in contact with him that way, then that'll be the best way to put anybody's hat in the ring and to show an interest.
Great. No, it's just very exciting that that's happening, and a post-vaccine world, something to really look forward to, and
yes,
those vaccines are really getting out there, so that actually people can really come in person, and we can get all the economic benefit from the event itself as well for Scotland, which is really good.